Hello guys, welcome to another video tutorial from Akash Biology. In this video we will continue our previous lectures that was on what immunoglobulins. So this video will be a last video on the immunoglobulins. That's why I have elaborated both the IgD and Ig in this video because they both are very short immunoglobulins to be elaborated. So taking no more than directly going on to the chapter. So first of all we will deal about what immunoglobulin D. What? The immunoglobulin D. So in immunoglobulin D, first of all going on to the discovery, the persons who have discovered the immunoglobulin D. So the immunoglobulin D was discovered by Rose and Fahe. What Rose and Fahe named biologist has first of all extracted or the first of all found the immunoglobulin D. And it is mainly intravascular in what? It is mainly intravascular. Intravascular means it is also found only in the blood, not in the tissues. And this immunoglobulin is very much less present in our body, means its concentration is so less to be detected. So its concentration in serum is less than 1% of total immunoglobulins. What? It is less than 1% of the total immunoglobulin that is present in our body. Similarly, its half-life is 3 to 5 days. What? Half-life is 3 to 5 days. And its structure resembles that of what? IgG immunoglobulin. What? IgG immunoglobulin. So IgG immunoglobulins, if you see the structure, so IgG immunoglobulin is also present as a single immunoglobulins. So this is what? FAB fragment. This is the what? FC fragment. FAB fragment means the fragment of the antibody that will bind to the antigens. So there are two FAB fragments for a single antibody. That's why the valency of the D immunoglobulin is also what? 2. So it is a divalent antibody. What? Divalent antibody. Now the thing that we need to know, it also acts as a monomer. What? It is also present as a monomer, means a single immunoglobulin. And as I have elaborated earlier on my videos of the IgM, it is present along with IgM on the NAF B lymphocyte. So what is NAF B lymphocyte? Just for a second, I need to take another marker. What is NAF B lymphocyte? Sorry, I'm taking so much of your time. So the IgD is present along with what? IgM and IgD both are present on NAF B lymphocyte. What? B lymphocyte. So as we have elaborated in IgM video, IgM is mainly present as what? Pentamer. But there is also another form of IgM that is monomer, that is present as a single molecule. So the single molecule of IgM, that is the monomeric IgM, is present in conjunction with what? Or in connection with the IgD on the surface of B lymphocyte. NAF B lymphocyte means those lymphocytes that has not yet encountered the antigens, or they are mature but they are not so mature enough, or they have not yet encountered with the antigens. So let's say this is what? B lymphocyte. What? This is B lymphocyte. So on the surface of B lymphocyte, we can see there is one what? IgD, and another one is what? IgM. So this is monomeric form and similarly the IgD. So the main function of IgD is what? So whenever there is an antigen, what? Whenever there is an antigen will come. So let's say this is the antigen. So as this B lymphocyte is not being stimulated, what? Not stimulated yet. So it is a naive form. So this antigen will first react with what? IgD. What? First react with IgD. That is the FAB fragment or the paratop of what? IgD. Now this IgD will make the signal or give signal to the B lymphocyte to become mature or to make it activated, so that it can form more and more what? The humoral immunity, so that it will act with the antigen. So that is the sole functions of the IgD. So if we are being asked in entrance examination, what is the function of IgD? So IgD is present on the surface of B lymphocyte and it will activate the humoral immunity, so that it will act on what? The antigens more and more. So this is a simple overview of the IgD. Now coming on to the, and the thing that you need to know about IgD, it cannot fix complement, means it can't fix complement and complement. So as IgM and IgG are only the immunoglobulins that can fix complement, and IgA can fix complement or can activate only the alternate pathway of complement, but IgD and Ig both cannot fix complement and they cannot pass placental barrier. Now coming on to the IgE. So now coming on to the IgE. So IgE immunoglobulin was first of all discovered by E.C. Jaka. What? E.C. Jaka. E.C. Jaka first of all noticed what the immunoglobulin E in the person suffering from allergies. What? Person suffering from allergies. So whenever a person's what? Allergies. That's why it is also known as what? Reagin. What? Reagin antibody. Because it is obtained from a person who is suffering from the allergies or any type of what? Immunological hypersensitivity. So if we see the structure of IgE, so this is what? The immunoglobulin. This is the FAV fragment. This is the Fc fraction of crystallizations. Width is what? Light chains. So in the from the hinge region, what is the main function of Fc? It will what? Combine with either the macrophages or it will combine with what? The CS3 component will combine with the complement. So in the case of IgE, this Fc fragment will combine with the mast cell. What? Mast cells. So what happens? So any of the antigen, let's say any of the antigen has come. So let's say this is the antigen. So this is the antigens. So antigen, if it comes in the sufficient quantity, then it will combine with what? The paratope of the antibody. At the same time, what happens? The Fc fragment is also being activated. Now when Fc fragment is activated, then mast cell will degranulate. What? It will degranulate. And if we know about the mast cells, so mast cells mainly contains what? Amines. Amines in the form of what? Histamine. What? Histamine. So when the mast cells will degranulate, what happens? The histamines is being what? Dispersed into the extravascular space. Or what is extravascular space? Means the spaces that is found outside the vascular compartment or outside the blood vessels. Mainly this is the cell, and if the interstitial space or extravascular spaces. So what happens? The histamine is a potent action of what? Potent attraction for the inflammatory marker like the cytokines and other inflammatory mediators, and this will lead to what? Immediate hypersensitivity. What? Immediate hypersensitivity. So it is also known as what? Type 1 hypersensitivity. So it is due to what? The mast cells. But it is due to mast cells. If we see the half-life, its half-life is again what? 1 to 3 days. What? 1 to 3 days. So if we see, this component mainly acts on any of the inflammation that's occur in our body. If you see the mechanism of asthma, similarly what? The dust or any inhalation particles comes in our body. Now if we contain the what? Sufficient amount, then it will activate mast cells, degranulations. Again the type 1 hypersensitivity, what? The bronchospasm. Similarly any of the edema, hay fever or infantile eczema or the atopic dermatitis. So any of the allergies is due to what? Immunoglobulin E. So if we are being asked, any person is suffering from allergy, which of the following immunoglobulin will rise? Levels will rise in the serum. It is what? It is the IgE immunoglobulin. What? IgE immunoglobulins. Again, it cannot fix complement. Neither it can what? The pass through the placenta or cross placenta. So in a nutshell, if we see, the main function of IgG is what? The protection of the body fluids. That's why it is present in the serum. Then after that, the function of IgA is due to the what? Due to the presence in the secretions, it protects the body surfaces. Third one is the IgM. It provides primary immune response, and secondary what? It is also found in the blood, so it purifies the blood of the vascular compartment. That's why the deficiency of IgM will lead to septicemia, IgE in the allergies, and IgD will activate the what? B lymphocytes. Now there is some clinical aspect that you need to know. Now some need to know. So there is a disease called multiple myeloma. What? There is a disease known as multiple myeloma. Multiple myeloma is a disease in which there is what? Cancer or the tumor of the plasma cells. What? There is a tumor of plasma cells of the body. And what is the main function of plasma cell? Is to produce what? Antibodies. Antibody or the immunoglobulin. That's why in multiple myeloma, which of the following things will increase in the blood? You can be asked in the entrance exam. Simple, it is the what? The antibody secretion will be increased in the blood. So main immunoglobulin that will increase is the IgG, followed by similarly IgA, followed by IgM, followed by IgD. But IgE concentration in blood in the case of multiple myeloma is very rare. It will not rise somehow. And this form is known as what? Waldenstrom. So, if IgM concentration will excessively be increased in the case of multiple myeloma, IgM, then it is known as Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia. Macroglobulinemia means it is the largest immunoglobulin that present in our body. It is a pentamer. So multiple myeloma, simply you know, it is a what? Tumor of the plasma cells. So there is increase in the secretions of what? Antibody. So first of all, the IgG will maximum occurrence, the IgG will rise more, followed by IgA, then IgM and IgD. And IgE occurrence in the multiple myeloma is very rare. And if in the case of multiple myeloma, if there is excessive increase in the IgM, then it is known as Waldenstrom macroglobulinemia. Similarly, if there is the tumor in which there is only the light chain is being produced in excessive number, then it is being excreted in the urine. Then in that is known as what? Baines-Jones proteins. What? Baines-Jones proteins. So if we are being asked what is Baines-Jones protein, it is just a component of light chain. What? It is component of the light chain. And that is being excreted in the urine in the case of multiple myeloma. What? Multiple myeloma. Similarly, there is what? Heavy chain disease. What? Some heavy chain disease. Heavy chain disease means the concentration of only the heavy chain is being increasing excessive amount in the blood. So it is mainly in the case of lymphomas, that is the cancer of the lymphoid cells. Similarly, there is what? Chiroglobulinemia. What? The chiroglobulinemia. So chiro means what? The cold. So whenever there is excessive cold in our body, or body is, so what happens in exposure to cold in the chiroglobulinemia, our antibodies were present normally in the serum will precipitate or what? Freeze out, will blocking the microvasculature of our body. That's why it will lead to creation of the thrombus, pains, and sometimes what? Even the disturbance in the microvasculatures. So all you need, you can being elaborated in the MBBS patterns, but this is just about the entrance examinations. So these are the clinical aspects you may be asked in the immunoglobulin sections. So if you have difficulty in any of the topics of biology, then feel free to comment. Even if you are not satisfied with my video, then you can comment on my sections. I will try to improve as far as possible. And I want to say you one thing. If you are feeling so much distress and if you are not getting enough motivations to keep running, then you can see the examples around you. If you want to do hard work, then there's nothing any special thing in life to be remained. If we see an ant, it will walk throughout the summer just to pile up its food to eat in the winter. Now we are human beings. We have got everything that we need to have. That's why we can do anything. And one thing, if you want one thing that you have never got in your life, then just do the hard work that you have never done in your life. And if you want to win, then must plan to win, dream to win, execute to win, and at last be a champion that you are destined to be. Thank you. Stay tuned and connected.